Patience is a virtue.
Welcome to Talking with Top Podcast. I'm your host, Todd Carter, and I will be talking to extraordinary people who are making an impact in their communities. Through heartfelt and intimate conversations, we will delve into life stories and experiences of our guests. Our goal is to showcase their excellence, share their journeys, and provide inspiration. Listeners will be taken on a journey through life as we explore the many facets of our guests' lives. They will share their spiritual beliefs and how it connects with their purpose in life. This episode is sponsored by TJ Everhart LLC. At TJ Everhart LLC, we help build unstoppable teams, leaders, and organizations through strategic planning and workplace training, developing the world's best employees and organizations, one training strategy at a time. Today on the show, we're excited to have our special guest, Sheena Howard.
Hi. Hey, everybody.
Sheena is a mother of four.
Six.
Let me. Sheena is a mother of six and have been married for 19 years. Sheena is always sharing her faith with everyone everywhere she goes. Today, she will be sharing her story on how she grew up, found her purpose in life, and life lessons taught to her by her grandmother. Hi, Sheena.
Hi, little bugs. Hey, everybody out there in Todd Carter's world.
Our listeners about how you grew up as a kid.
I grew up, parents still married, over 40 years. I grew up in public housing. I had two grandmothers. One was not even a street away from me. I grew up with most of my cousins on both sides of my family, paternal and maternal. Very close, tight-knit family. I would say that my childhood was actually a good childhood, even though my circumstances didn't exactly say I was gonna make it because of the place I came from. But look at me now.
All right. Oh, and we are wearing Sheena's Love Bug t-shirt that she gave me last week. You have to tell us also too. Well, we'll get to that portion in how they can get this shirt. All right. So go ahead with your story, Sheena. I'm sorry I had to.
Well, that's okay. Thanks for the plug. I grew up in public housing. I attended Hart Elementary School in Bessemer. I hail from the great city of Bessemer, Alabama. I grew up in church. My church is Shady Grove Missionary Baptist Church, where Victor L. Harkins Sr. is pastor. My dad and my mother were working class people. And I mean working class. I mean janitors and maintenance man. My dad was a maintenance man for 43 years for the Bessemer Housing Authority. My mom was a retired cook for J.O. High School. Okay. I grew up knowing a lot of people because of my mom and my dad.
Okay. All right, Miss Sheena. Okay. All right. So one of the things that I wanted you to come on for is that we are always talking about God, and you are so encouraging, and you always encourage me. So I just wanted you to, encourage my audience. So one of the questions I have for you is, what experience taught you how to rely on God?
I had several, but one sticks out in my mind. 2, maybe 3 years ago, myself and my husband were battling health issues. We did not know exactly what was wrong with us, but we both were experiencing a lot of health issues that is not normal for young people. I would say not really young, but because we were middle-aged when we were experiencing, but these health issues that we were having would happen to 60, 70-year-old woman or male. And we were having them in our 40s. So I was having early on said after I think I was 27, 28 of perimenopausal symptoms, as you would say. And
I'm going through that right now. Perimenopausal is no joke.
Because I had a tubal ligation so young, they did not tell me that the side effects would be perimenopausal symptoms, which I was hormonally off balance. They didn't know it. Went to my doctor, quote unquote. He prescribed me hormone pills. I took those for several years, including birth control shots to control my monthly. And lo and behold, years later down the road, the side effects was I had cervical stage 1 with tumor attached and uterine, both cancer. I was working and I kept noticing that every month it was a slight change. And found myself, lo and behold, in the ER needing emergency surgery to have a total hysterectomy.
I remember you told me that too. I was just like,
young as I
was, you always be laughing and playing and joking, and then when I asked you, like, I don't know how you told me that, but then you were like serious, and I wasn't even expecting it because we always be.
But my faith is what healed me. My grandma raised me up in church. She always took her to church on Sunday, and then as we got older, we took ourselves. So most people will bargain with God. I didn't. I said, Lord, it is what it is. I said, my faith is strong enough. I got you. I said, we're going to do this together. You hold my hand and I'm not going to let yours go. And I went on ahead and had the hysterectomy. Right now, it's probably the best thing I could have done for myself. I feel so much better. I'm not as bloated as I once was. It helped. And while I was going through that, my husband was going through his own medical issue. Shortly after I had my surgery, I would say a week or two after, my husband started experiencing migraine headaches. The kind where his head would just constantly pound for days and days and days. We took him to the doctor. The doctor said he needed to go to an eye doctor. So we scheduled an appointment and they kept rebooking and finally my husband said, I can't take it. We got to get to an eye doctor. I got to see what's going on. It could be a busted blood vessel in my head and making my head hurt. We got to find out what's going on. So we finally got him an appointment at America's Best, took him, lo and behold, while he's having an eye exam, he's having a full-on stroke.
Oh my Lord.
His blood pressure would not go down. It was high. I mean, very high. He was tachycardic high. We left. They told him he couldn't drive, so we called family members to pick us up. I don't drive. I get to where I don't drive now. But yes, I don't drive.
Okay.
We called family members, and they came and picked us up, and we flashlighted it all the way to UAB Medical West. Got him there, got him signed into the ER. They rushed him to the back, took his blood pressure, and immediately called a cardiologist. Cardiologist came. They tried to level his blood pressure out. It kept spiking. In the process of his blood pressure spiking, he had what you call a mini heart attack.
Okay.
Yeah, so I was going through my own. I'm healing from having a hysterectomy and still wearing tubes, drainage tubes, because I had not the cut across the belly, but the one going into your stomach. They had holes, so I had drainage because I had to have light chemo and 4 rounds of radiation. So while I'm healing from all of this, I'm going through another situation. At that time, I said, Lord, you've been with me this far. I keep a little bottle of blessed oil with me at all times at work. You may not know it, you may not see it. I may even pour it into my hair, into my locks, and pray over myself. Yeah. So I pulled my oil out. I began to rub his chest, rub his head, the bottom. I took his shoes and his socks off and rubbed the bottom of his feet with the blessed oil and began to pray over him. I said, Lord, I said, I'm coming to you deep in prayer because I needed him at that time. I said, I needed you before, but I need you now. right now.
Right.
As I was praying, the nurse was in the room, little poor little nurse. I just felt so sorry for her. She just said, is this lady going crazy or what? My faith had just took over. Mm-hmm. When I tell you, I went in there, started praying for him, and slowly but surely, we noticed his numbers trying to go down to levels where they can treat him for his untreated high blood pressure. Once they got him stable, it took us about 2, maybe 3 hours. I'm sitting in the room with him. It's cold. I don't have a coat. I don't know how I didn't. It was cold, but I did not shiver. I was stuck in prayer and could not move.
That's what I'm talking about.
The whole while, we and our family members in and out. I'm still sitting there holding his hand. I'm head bowed, still praying. My aunt's like, baby, you're tired. You need to give yourself some rest. Or no, I'm not going to leave his side because he didn't leave mine. The whole while I was going through my surgery, I coded on the table, lost significant amounts of blood. He was right there. So I wasn't going to leave him because he didn't leave me. And the whole while, my faith not staggering. At one point in time, I said, Lord, I said, if you give me this chance to pay you back, I'm going to do everything I can. Mm-hmm. And as I sat and wait, months went by, and all of a sudden I heard a tiny whisper. At first I ignored it. I was like, I'm tripping. I need to get some medication because I think I'm going crazy. And I was asleep. And 3 o'clock in the morning, sure enough, that same voice. You like the internet. You love Facebook. Help somebody.
In the midst of you going through.
Yes. I was like, Lord, what? It kind of puzzled me because I said, Lord, you know, they say he'll let you, this killer, he'll let you hear him when he wants you to hear him. Other times he'll be talking to you and you won't even hear him. Right. But he'll let it be known that you hear him. Right. You heard him the first time, but he gonna make it clear the second time. So as I was going through everything, he did that for me. And I began motivational speaking. And I was like uplifting, inspiration. At first, it was just like, I was just goofing off because I didn't know what to say. So he was like, get the Bible. Girl, I got a Bible that's rattled and tattered. I mean, this thing that been through. Oh, it's been marked, ink pen, with a little white scripture notes, everything. I've had this Bible. I think I've had this Bible. I'm trying to think back. My aunt gave me this Bible. She was it's stories. It's stories about her and my cousin Bay James. My aunt was the incomparable gospel Hattie L. Moore. Everybody knew her in my city and in Tennessee because we have family in Tennessee. She gave me this Bible when I first got baptized. And she said, never lose this Bible. Your Bible is your identity. And I held on to it through everything. I mean, house fires, this last past flood in December I just had. The first thing I say was my Bible. I didn't care about anything else. I got my Bible. So I just been, me and that Bible been going. And I guess God said, when you open it up and the words fall out, and I can tell you stories from the Bible that just would blow your mind. I mean, who reads the whole story of Esther?
A lot of people. They just read it.
Who read the whole story of Ruth?
I mean, people want to know more.
Yeah. But I like reading. My mom got me into reading a long, long time ago. My mom is an avid reader. She likes romance novels, Harlequin, those Harlequin books. She sci-fi books. She big sci-fi. Star Trek. This is what got me into Star Trek.
Oh,
my
really?
dad, on the other hand, Mechanics Daily. Maintenance updates. I think that was the magazine at the time that came to the house. Maintenance updates had all the tools in the tool book, and some of the cars. My dad didn't too tough data with cars. He was fascinated with cars, but he was a maintenance man. He could fix the light, fix your plumbing, your hot water tank, your stove, your refrigerator. He was the man. So I got a little bit of everything from, them, but most of all, I got my faith. My grandma made sure that my dad was rooted up in faith. My mom's mom, she liked to beat them. I mean, they made sure that we participated in church. We participated in things that were healthy for us. I'm what you call, and you taught, we were what you call the feral generation. We drunk out of a hose pipe.
Oh yeah, I did that.
We came home when the street lights came on because they was the only alarm we had. So and we wore keys around our neck. I was a latchkey kid. My mom and dad worked up until one got off at 4:30, the other one got off at 6. So it was up to me and my 5 siblings. I have 4 sisters and 1 brother, and we were all responsible for each other. So I was raised up deep. My grandma kept us in church. We was sharp though. We was in church.
Okay, let me keep you on track. I tell you, because Sheena, you something else. All right, so you went through my next question, which was like, what responses have you received from social media when you encourage someone?
Oh, it's more. I am at this point now. I am generating views. I was generating views. Right now, you can see me. I think in Australia. I know for sure Canada. I just received my first Nigerian viewer, and she talked to me. I'm pretty much being clicked and shared, thank God, all over the world. That maybe one of my messages can help somebody.
That's awesome. You helped me just the other day. But it's like when you be, I would say, ministering to me, it'd be funny all at the same time, just like your approach or whatever, but you be so serious about when you go into it. It's just like, okay, yeah. I mean, like, she right. Absolutely.
Well, this is the thing. God told me. He told me. I don't know what he told everybody else. He said, you funny. That's my spirit. I have a funny spirit. People talk about I should have been a comedian. Deliver it the way people will receive it. You might be cutthroat and to the point, and you goofy all with it at the same time, but they receive the message. You just can't go to nobody and say, hey, you don't need to do this and you don't need to do that, because that's like you scolding a person. You can't scold a person. You're trying to teach a person something or tell someone something that could give them hope, keep somebody from committing suicide, keep somebody from doubting themselves. It's just a lot. When I do those messages, I have to pray. I have to sit back. I have to inhale. I have to center myself in order to say what I want to say and deliver the message the way that the message needs to be delivered at the time. Because even with your podcast, it's a way to deliver. And you deliver well, my darling. So I just have to keep that in mind when I'm doing inspirational words and letting people, uplifting people.
Okay, so let me just go back to when you first came back after work, after you had went through everything. I was so happy to see you. Like, you had been gone a month, and then it was just like nowhere. You had appeared, and I remember coming over, and I was like, oh Lord, my dog is tripping.
Well, look, it's all right. He okay. I left in August. I left for 3 weeks in August. I didn't let anybody know I was leaving. It was like, I left for 3 weeks to get all my doctor's appointments. I was taking radiation then. I had enough vacation time where I could take off. Well, I just didn't want anyone to see me in that state. I was already going through my chemo and my radiation. I took 3 weeks off, had my vacation time. I didn't want anybody to see me in a weakened state like that. I was really weak. Couldn't keep food down. It gave me vertigo. real bad. I developed vertigo. I didn't wear glasses before I left, but when I came back, I had to have glasses. I couldn't go up any steps, and going down was a challenge. And nobody knew. Nobody.
I was just gonna say, you never complained. I never knew that. You never said you couldn't. You never talked about that.
Because it was like, it was, with me, it was an eternal thing. I was more grateful than anything to still be standing. So I just kept it to myself and kept moving. And then August came, and then by time the end of right before September, I just completely went on medical leave. My doctor I slowly did it because I didn't want, like, I was like, people gonna notice I'm gone. I work on the dock every day. People gonna notice I'm gone. So I slowly just slipped away. And it wasn't that I just abruptly left. I just didn't want everybody to know exactly how sick I was. I did not want the pity party.
Absolutely not.
The pity party is where it got my nerves. I can't, we so sorry you sick like this. And I can't. I was like, Lord, I said, if they gonna throw me a pity party, I don't want to come.
Right.
Just leave it at the door for me. So I just gradually slipped away, got myself prepared to have my surgery, had my surgery, stayed off 12 weeks, and then I came right. I actually supposed to stay gone 18 weeks, but my doctor okayed it for me to come back because of the complications I had during my surgery. They wanted to make sure my heart was doing all right and my vertigo was like lessening and I could balance myself without falling, because I did have a bunch of clumsy moments. I will at home, in private, never at work, I was bound to the house. It wasn't the point that I was embarrassed. It was that I just didn't want to see myself vulnerable.
But you were going through something. So what do you mean you don't want to see yourself vulnerable?
Okay. Well, where I used to live, I had a lot of friends, especially classmates. And for me, myself, I'm considered the strong one.
Mm-hmm.
I don't say how I would describe it. I don't carry on as like, no, that's not me.
You slow down.
I just stand there. Yeah, and I just stand there and watch it play out. So I did not want, when people saw me, oh, you look, girl, what the hell to you? You done fell off. And
right.
And I mean, then I have to go through the steps of explaining to people, well, I was sick, I had cancer, and I had radiation and chemo, and now it's the radiation and chemo effects on my body, and I'm slowly healing. So I just stayed indoors. Gotcha. I stayed in. My neighbor from across the hall, Andrea, bless her soul, she came over, she cooked for me, she helped me get up, go to the bathroom. She even took vacation time to take care of me. Okay. So I thank you for that, Andrea, if you watch, because I told her I was gonna be, when she see it, I wanted to.
That's so sweet. I appreciate you. You
she took care of me.
That's good. That is just awesome. Okay, so like I said, I didn't know how this interview gonna go with you because you take me down through a journey. Okay, so let's see. What is one thing that your grandmother taught you about life?
About what?
What is one thing that your grandmother taught you about life that you use today, or just something that stuck with you from your grandmother? Because you talk about your grandmother. So I want you to.
People don't hate. Situations cause hate. You don't hate that person, you hate the situation. You always, always love your fellow man. She was a firm believer in loving people. You don't hate people. You hate the circumstance and the situation, not the people. Because she always told me God is love. So that's just me. And I love it. I will give you a million miles before I say I hate you. I love you all day. I mean, that's just Some she taught all of us, and it's a lot of us. And she just said, you don't hate people. She said, that is such an ugly word.
Right, right. It's, they say that you should say dislike, you know, you'll say, oh, I hate this person. I just, yeah, and it's, I've been told that as well. Like,
Yeah.
right. So tell me how you started doing your business with your t-shirts and all the other stuff that you do. Just tell me
Okay.
about that.
So I had a friend of mine that stayed not too far from where I'm living now tell me, you ought to put love bugs on a t-shirt. And I said, but nobody would want to buy it. I said, nobody would want to wear it. Nobody would want to buy it. I said, it's just something that I say when I'm making my reels. She was like, no. If you buy it, she said, if you make it, they'll buy it, baby. They'll buy it. People like you. They gravitate towards you. She said, just make the shirt. So I started out, I made her one. And I gave it to her like I did you. And I just kept doing that. I did it like 5 or 6 times, had my t-shirt made with a personal printer and with a friend of mine, and we did them. And I was just like, well, they want to wear the shirt. They said they like love bugs because that's what I do on the reels. And then I got one of those ads that pop up on your screen when you're on, I think I was on Facebook or TikTok, one of them. They're Shopify. They had a special going on. They do all the printing, you sell the merchandise at the rate they want you to sell it. So I did. I put the shirt on, and it's history from there.
Okay, well, good. You definitely have to give us that information so that we can go out there and, you know, make some shirts. I like it. It's good material too.
Yeah, it's on Shopify at Lovebug Inc. This shirt here that we are both wearing is the shirt that's available. You can also get the Ladybug in blue, yellow, and pink. We are stretching out the bug colors of the Ladybug that's inside of the O. I think you can get them in all colors, but I'm on Shopify. I'm on Shopify, Lovebug Inc.
Well, that is awesome. That is awesome. Let's see. All right. We ran through our questions kind of fast. What else you want to talk about?
Well, healing. Too many kids out here today are getting into the habit of not talking, not explaining themselves, and picking up guns. I have lost, my daughter's, my baby girl, her generation, the 2000 babies, we have lost the majority of them in the neighborhood the surrounding area I'm from. These kids are not fighting anymore. They being, as my big sister would say, they being keyboard gangsters on Facebook and Instagram and the Snapchat. And they got these little videos and they typing and posting so fast on situations that nobody is talking about what's really happening. And all you know is pow, pow, bang, bang. We're going to a funeral.
Right. One of my coworkers at my other job, she just went to a funeral Saturday where she said her son, who is a little local artist, I won't say who he is, but he's out of Bessemer. And so one of his really good friends got killed recently, but it wasn't even for him. It was for the guy next door. So they came and shot up the house, but they shot the wrong house and ended up killing somebody that. And
exactly. This day and time, kids are not thinking. I wish they just, I'm not for stricter gun laws. I am for parents being responsible gun owners. I am a gun owner. It's a key. It's a simple key and lock that keeps the trigger from pulling, keep a child from accessing these guns. And then these switches, ever bright idea this was to take a 3D printer and make switches, needle switch.
What do you mean? What do you mean? What is that?
Okay, switches is where you turn an automatic, like a Glock 9, which I own, into an automatic, like an AR-15. It shoots multiple rounds nonstop. And you can easily print these things off with a 3D printer. One of those, the ones that do the plastic that make the stuff, they making them. And I wish that somebody, we have failed the generation of 2000, we have failed those babies. All I can do, I pray for them. Some of them you can save because their parents were raised right, and some of them you just can't. I mean, they don't even talk anymore. Whatever happened, picking up the phone and calling that person you got beef with, or going to that person, non-threatening, non-violent, and talking to that person, getting down to who said where, the what said who, because 9 times out of 10, somebody that added their 2 cents in that's causing a whole ruckus.
Right. No, you did say ruckus.
Girl.
Right.
It has gotten so bad. So I'm a hood baby. I ain't gonna sugarcoat it. I'm a hood baby. I love everything about the hood except for the violence. Some violence you can't avoid, but I had to turn some stuff go. And when I learned to turn it go, let it go, just wear this thing for me. I got older. I wanted to have a good time. I wanted to party. I did not want to keep hearing as you lay down, you got to roll on the floor and hide in your closet and pray it don't come through the closet and under your bed and in your tub, because they were shooting so bad. So it was like what goes up must come down, and anybody can get it. So I moved, thank God. I moved to a sleepy little town. And I thank God for that. I like where I am now. It's very quiet. It's very wholesome. I ain't gonna give away too much, but I can sleep with the door open.
There you go. Yeah. Absolutely. I was just telling somebody, my other co-host on my other podcast, Finding Your Voice, she had took all the phones from her kids because they had left the door open. Well, they left it unlocked. And so I said to her, and she's in Vegas, and I said, oh my goodness. I said, well, you would take my phone too. I said, because some days I probably don't, I don't know. And so, but I have a dog. My dog will let me know if something's out there by the mailbox. But I'm so far out here from the city and stuff. But just as I told the whole world, I make sure I be locking my doors.
Yeah, my husband, he make sure I lock the door.
I got a dog. Huh?
Yeah, my husband make sure we lock the doors too. He go behind me. He said, I'm just going to go behind you. You didn't got too comfortable. I have to lock the doors. Well, the windows stay locked because we got the blink system. So it's attached to it. So if you open it up, it makes a lot of noise. Front door, window, and I can't stand it. So I just keep them down. And so even with the security system, my extra security system, make sure I lock everything down because I'm not used to not having to lock my door. I mean, I used to have to lock my door and put a chair behind my door. And I lived that way for almost 8 years.
Okay. Uh-huh.
It wasn't per se the place I stayed. It was the people around the place I stayed.
Right.
Baby, you been
no matter where you live now, you still have to lock your doors and be careful.
We lock the door, but we lock the doors, but it's kind of easy to forget. It's easy to forget. I mean, sleeping, you hear the crickets over here, and you hear real good.
For our gratitude moment, and as always, I like to share on each episode a gratitude statement. And so I am thankful for my kids. You know, some people be losing their babies and at a young age and things like that. And every day that I wake up and my children are fine, that's just something to celebrate. So on this episode here, I'm just thankful for my children,
Mm. Well, I'm grateful for life lessons and God's favor and being able to reach people that I've never thought I could reach. I'm grateful to have friends that God has blessed me and placed into my life. Just real grateful. Today, I'm grateful because I'm sitting here talking to you, and it's Father's Day, and everybody around the world, happy Father's Day, has received gifts, blessings, and love always. I am grateful for it all.
Well, good. That is so awesome. Well, I hope this conversation encourages personal growth by discovering the why behind the work of extraordinary minds. I challenge our listeners to explore self discovery. It is a tool to begin healing and develop personal growth. So, Sheena, tell the listeners how they can support you and follow you on social media.
I am on Facebook Reels, Sheena Howard. Well, yeah, Sheena Howard. I am on TikTok at that girl, Sheena Howard. You can reach me at howardsheena218gmail.com. I promote products. I also make resin products, but that's just a little side job. You can get my shirts on Shopify at Love Bug Inc. And please support Talk Carter.
Thank you. Look, Sheena, you forgot to tell how you make those dominoes. Those
It's resin art. It's called resin art. I have a mold. That actually my molds are back there. They're molds, and I pour my mold. I have a hardener, and I have a it's two different epoxies that you use to make them, and it just takes time. It's art basically. You are what you feel. I do custom dominoes, from football teams to basketball teams, even birthdays, your favorite colors. I'm in the process now of making some dominoes. Give me just 1 second. I'm going to show you something.
Okay.
Okay.
Guys, y'all got the mild version of Sheena. I'm sorry, I got a Sheena today. Trust me.
I can't turn up. These are crystal. I call them shadow of black dominoes with gold foil on the back.
That's nice. I like that.
I haven't dotted them yet.
Yeah, I was just okay, but I see your little imprints.
Yeah, I dot them. Yeah, I dot them, and I make sets like this upon request.
Okay.
And yeah, that's just one of my little I just do it. It's like word of mouth, or if I showcase something on TikTok, most likely I do it on TikTok when I do that. I just do little 15-second promos for my little resin art projects. I also do keychains, and I'm working on earrings. I haven't gotten the mold system, how far to fill it to keep the earring from coming, from bending. So I'm working on that.
I'm sure you'll get it. All right, guys. So you can follow me on Facebook and TikTok as Tot Carter, and on Instagram as IvyTot10. This brings us to the end of this episode. If you enjoy our show, please subscribe, rate, and review us on YouTube. Until next time, this is the one and only Tot Carter, a podcast that reveals how extraordinary people find their purpose in life. Do you know what your purpose is? Go out and discover it. Goodbye, y'all.
Bye-bye.